Hi there, welcome back. My name is Lisa Ingram and I'm a ceramic artist and I love to do projects with kids that you can do in your own home and be creative wherever you are. Today we're in the season of fall, which is my favorite season, and we are going to make some polymer clay ghosts. And actually, it's not really a ghost, it's a kid. It's a kid dressed up as a ghost for Halloween. So I think you can see he's got little feet sticking out. This is his Halloween treat bucket. And this was inspired by my kid's favorite Halloween book called Boo. And this is by Leslie Pacelli. So we are gonna make this cute little boy that is going to go trick-or-treating. So all you have to do is get your supplies. So you need a few colors of polymer clay. I actually got the Sparkly Metallic and Glitters collection by Sculpey to use today. You'll need something to cut your clay with that's not too sharp, a toothpick or a needle tool to poke and trim your clay with, and I'm gonna use the tip of this paintbrush as well. So you can go get your tools, meet me back here, and we'll get started. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Again, this is our sweet little inspiration, and I'll show you again my book. So this is the little kid all dressed up for Halloween as a ghost, and in the book it's so cute. He learns how to not be afraid of Halloween and how to have fun and how much fun it is. So you'll start by just picking the color that you want to use for the ghost. And the reason why I like to start with the ghost is because if you use white, your hands are the most clean at this point. So you're going to condition your clay. So that just means I'm warming it up with my hands. You can breathe on it a little bit. Just bring it up to your mouth and get some of that moisture and warmth from your breath, and that just helps soften up your clay. And we want to roll it into a ball. You can roll it on the table a little bit too. Just remember to work on a nice clean surface, because this white, it will pick up all kinds of colors. And if you want your clay white, you don't want it to get any of those other colors in it. So we're gonna start by making a little pinch pot out of your white clay. And this is a half of a block of Sculpey clay. So this is starting to feel a little bit warmer, a little bit softer, but it was a little bit hard to start with. So once it feels warmed up, then you can just take the bottom and just push your thumb in a little bit. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start pinching the sides, and I'm just pulling them down. So I'm trying to pull this thick clay from the top. I'm not squeezing all at the bottom right here. And this is just a traditional way to make pinch pots. So we do this in a lot of my hand building clay classes. So you don't need equipment, you don't need fancy tools, just need your hands. And just by turning it around and giving it a gentle squeeze, it's not even a hard pinch by any means, it starts to make a little bowl. If it gets too wide, just start to pinch it inwards a little bit. If you have little creases like this, just rub it with your thumb and that will help smooth them away. And this is starting to make the shape of our ghost. If you feel like you didn't quite get enough clay, you can always add a little bit more. And we're just gonna try to make this not too thick and not too thin. So about like the thickness of a quarter, no thinner than a quarter. And it can be a little bit thicker than a quarter. And then I'm just gonna push my thumb up there a little bit more to make it taller. So it's just kind of shaping around my thumb. And then if you want to pinch out the bottom a little bit, kind of like the sheet is touching the ground, give it a bell shape, you can do that. And can you see all the sparkles in this clay? Isn't that fun? I really like sparkles. Anything sparkly makes it more fun, right? So as artists, gotta make it fun. I like some matte colors too. So those colors that have no shine, they definitely have their place. So I'm just sort of squeezing the top to make that a little bit thinner, and then squeezing out at the bottom. And if this is hard, don't worry. It is a little bit hard. You can always pause the video, take your time. You can always roll it back up and start over, and that's okay. That's the nice thing about polymer clay, is it lets you start over, and you can make yours look exactly like yours. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. So now I'm just starting to wiggle the bottom a little bit, and this gives it that sheet-like look. So it kind of looks like he's flying around. And then we want to make sure it'll sit on the table, and it does, so that's good. And I'm just going to smooth a little bit more, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. So it looks a little different than my first one, and that's okay. So there's my ghost body. If you want to add some more ripples, you can. That's totally up to you. So now I think we're going to do the eyes. We'll do the pumpkin last. So I just have this tannish color, so you can pick whichever color you want for the first part of the eyes, not the black. So I will need just a very little bitty bit of this. So I'm going to use my metal rib and trim just a bit off. And then I'll roll it in my hand here. Put it on my table, cut it in half, and then I'll make 2 balls. There's 1. There's 2. I'll pick this up so you can see. Then I'm gonna take the tip of my paintbrush, just twist it in so that I have 2 little sockets for these balls to go into. So then I can put 1, 2, and just tap it in a little bit. Okay, so now you got 2 eyes. Got it? All right, so now I'm gonna set this back down, and I'm gonna get some of my black. Again, the black, it really will stain, so I'm trying to touch it as little as possible, and a little bit goes a long way. So the more you can use your tools to touch it, the less it's gonna get on your hands. So I'm just making 2 tiny poppy seeds. These are small. Just think about how small the black part of your eye is. And then think about this little ghost. So let's see. Let's put it to the side a little bit. Put yours wherever you like. Mine's gonna be looking up like he just rang the doorbell, going trick or treat. And then I'll just tap it in there. So there's some eyes. Set it back down. Now I've got this last little bit of black. This is gonna be the face, the smile. So then I will just take off those really thin ends. And we want this to curve a bit. So take my paintbrush, kind of make it a U, and then I use the paintbrush to help me place it on here. It wants to stick to my paintbrush. I must have gotten a little too much pressure. So let's go one more time. Starting over is okay. That's the beauty in it, right? Okay, that thing was giving me a little bit of a hard time, so I got a little bit more clay, and I'm just gonna use my hand and roll it on. There we go. So now I've got a little face, and we're gonna do a little bit of hair on top. So this is a baby. The baby just has a tiny bit of hair. So I'm just gonna roll out. Now this is optional, and it can be whatever color that you want. It's pretty good little. and it's gonna be a curl. If it just sticks straight up, it's gonna have a hard time not getting knocked off. So it's gonna be a curl. So I'm just gonna make a little base for this to set down in just by wiggling my needle tool. That could be your toothpick, whatever tool that you have on hand, you can make it work. Then this is just pointed on one end. So I'll put the thicker part down in there, kind of squeeze that clay around it, and then I'll curl it. Isn't that sweet? So now that baby's got a little bit of hair poking up. So now get your baby wipe or go wash your hands because you don't want to get anything on your ghost. You want it to look exactly like you like it. Okay, so now we're gonna do the pumpkin. So this is a little bit more orange than I really need for my pumpkin. So you can get whichever color you prefer to use on your little pumpkin basket. We're gonna roll the ball. I'm gonna hold it up. I think that's just a little bit too big still. So I'm gonna trim it down and I'll go again. And that's looking better. So I'll take, again, I'm gonna rinse that tip of my paintbrush, and then I'm gonna make just a little bit of an indentation right there. Then I'll tap the bottom on the table. Then I'll take my toothpick or my needle tool, and I'm just gonna rock. So I'm not drawing a line with the pointy part. I'm using the side of this. I'm just gonna go all the way around, and I'm using a really light touch so that I don't distort the pumpkin, okay? Just rolling from the top to the bottom. So the pointy part does touch at the top, but nowhere else. You can decide how many segments or how many ribs it needs. You can go back and add some in between. And then if you want to, you can just add some little marks to make it kind of veiny. Makes it look a little more natural. Pumpkins are never perfect, so if you're like, my pumpkin's not even round anymore, that is okay. If some of your lines get rubbed off, you can always just go back over them. They'll come back. Okay, so now we're gonna get a stem. So whatever color you like, and just a small bit of it, and you're gonna roll it into one of those tapered forms like a carrot shape. Trim it down to whatever size you need, and it's gonna curl up too, kind of like the little curl on top. I'm gonna reinforce that indentation right there. And then let's see if this fits down in there. I think it fits pretty good. So I'll press it down. Then I'm gonna curl this little pumpkin stem and set it beside my ghost right there. So now my pumpkin, it needs a handle. So that's optional. If you just want it to look like a pumpkin beside a ghost, that's okay. But my idea is that this is the bucket handle. So I'll get some black, and again, whatever color you think looks good. Totally up to you. So we're just gonna roll another little coil. If any part of it looks kind of yucky, trim it off. Just use the good stuff. Okay, curl up these ends because I think I got plenty. Make it look kind of cute. And then that's gonna go over the top. Press on, and then I'm just gonna let this sit for a minute because I forgot to do his little feet that poke out. See, that's how we know it's a little boy, because he has some feet, or little girl, whatever you like. So I'm gonna get some more of this tan colored clay, and what we're gonna do is make 2 of the same size balls of clay. So again, we're working fairly small. And there's one. there's two, it's good to do them both at the same time so you can make sure that they match in size. And then you're gonna squish one end on each of them. And then I'm gonna add it to your ghost, wherever you want to place those feet. And then we'll add toes. So let's see my needle tool. So I'm gonna go boop, 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 boop. And then again on the other side. My feet are so big. I think I need smaller feet. Those look like gorilla feet or something. Here we go. Too big of feet. So I'm gonna try again. Squish. I'd like to know if your feet look too big, if they look just right. The first time I did it, they looked just right. That time they looked so big. Okay. But hey, that's polymer clay. Can just try again. Now, you don't have to have 5 toes. Totally up to you. However many toes you want your little ghosty to have. So now, I'm just gonna kind of pinch out a little indentation right here so that the bucket has a little good place to hang out on my ghost. So then when I bake it, it's not 2 separate pieces. It's all one. And I lost a couple little ribs when I did that. So I'm just gonna put them back on. Put that on there. And then you have sweet little ghost with some happy faces and feet. And they're ready to go trick-or-treating. So you did it. I'm so proud. I can't wait to see what you made. These are so cute. All right. Hey, we did it. We made our little ghosts from the book Boo. And now you have your very own little kid going trick-or-treating for the first time. So you can decorate with these around your house, put them in your room, or give them as gifts. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share photos of the work that you've created and send me ideas for new videos. Please like and subscribe and have a happy Halloween. Bye.